Well. Here we are, back with another live stream. It's the Patient Hodler coming at you with this evening live stream. And today we have a very important topic, in my opinion, because there is truth. Between hype and FUD, the vevefam is divided into moonbois and notorious fudders. But there is something of value in between, in my opinion, which I want to discuss today with all of you guys. What else can I say? Let's start with the topic, but first of all, let's start with some housekeeping here, and that is everything that I say in this video is my personal opinion. That's not financial advice, so please do your own research before you ape full degen into the Ecomi token and or the Veve collectibles. Welcome everyone that is already joining in. If you are joining later or watching this video better later after the stream, make sure to check out the video description to find thumbnails once I got my lazy ass to do that. Smash up the like button also. That's something to not forget. And subscribe to my channel to always get tap the little bell to always get notified whenever I upload a video. So we have already some people here in the live chat. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Let me know in the live chat if you can. Or if I'm already rug pulled in the beginning before even saying something. Anyways, also, I want to quickly take the chance to thank my rare hodlers, my Patreons, my channel members for always supporting me here on my journey. If you want to support me in a free way, smash up the like button. As I said before, almost 20 people here already. Welcome. And if you don't want to have the free way and throw money into my face, then channel memberships and the usual stuff is already and always welcome. Anyways, let's get to this here. So make sure to subscribe here to my channel and to not miss the morning streams that I try to make possible all the time. You should see yourself in the picture here with the chat as an overlay. And we have Adroldero here. Hola to you as well. I hope you have a great evening. Rogerie is bringing the fire. Rogerie, whatever. We hear you. It's good. Good to catch you live. Tommyski, good to see you here. Smarty Pants, do you ever sleep? Smarty Pants is also here. Yo. Luke says, help. Thumbs up. Yeah, help the thumbs up. Thank you, man, for the support. Why am I making this stream? Honestly, you have not been hearing from me for the last, I think, 4 or 5 days. The reason for that is I was traveling to my hometown, and I scanned through Twitter and social media and was reading a lot of stuff about Veve, and then it occurred to me that everyone knows this divide between the very hard moonbois and the notorious fudders that think everything is a bad thing. And I think there is something to learn from that, and that is to find some middle ground and really take a step back to oversee the entire picture there. So I think that's very, very important. And that's what I want to do today. And for that, we are going to take... Yeah, it's Roger. Okay, good. Sorry about that, Roger. I think you spelled Roger wrong. Anyways, no, just joking. I will say Roger from now on when I see you in the chat. So it's all good. But as a basis, I will pick some of the things that I see on Twitter here. The first big misconception where we have the divide is everything Veve does is a scam, a rug pull, and so on, versus everything that Veve does is for the sole benefit of the community. There is no own interest, and they always tell the truth, and there is nothing controversial, and there are no lies whatsoever in the 2 years of Veve. And I think that's a good starting point. So that's the first where I would say the community on these both poles is disconnected, right? That's the first one of 3 main topics. So here we see that Veve, for example, comes out here and says, burn update, remaining editions of the Avengers Tower in the store will be burned after tomorrow. Get one while you still can. And before that, you all remember, David Yu has repeated several times, he has also said that on the Matt Gondek podcast, that items are sitting in the store for new users to come in and to appreciate. Now we see a lot of burns going on all the time, like everything, not everything. There are items that are sitting in the store for a long time, right? But there are also many items that just get burned away from the store. And I want to really take this whole stream in the light to see the arguments in favor of one or the other side of those poles. So, for example, if you say as a moonbois, oh yeah, they have to burn these things because it's written in the contract. Yeah, but still, why would you do that contract with Marvel, for example? If you then have to burn the leftovers, if you completely miscalculated the edition numbers, which they apparently did. And then on the other hand is, why would you then come out and say that these items are meant for then new users coming in to just grab it from the store? And why wouldn't you put these leftovers in the store more prominent? Because honestly, in my first months on Veve, I didn't find these things, these items in the store whatsoever. Mehdi says, tomorrow is D-Day with the debt ceiling decision, which means the printer will go on, and if Omi doesn't get utility, we miss the bull pumps. Actually, if I saw that right here before, the decision is already kind of made. At least they decided to print more without cutting too much of the what is it called, of the expenses. I think defense expenses will continue as they are. They cut something out of the IRS and so on. So yeah, that is going on. So there we go. Yeah, so that is one of the things, right? Which also people have mentioned here in the comments of that Avengers Tower burn, and now I got some new updates here in the feed already, but that's what I was referring to. Roger says the strange name is to match my Veve username. Okay, so you guys know how to find him there. Yeah, anyways, just a thing, guys, if something is weird, like the sound wrong or the video quality bad or whatever, then please let me know, because that is important to know. Last time I had someone telling me after 40 minutes that the sound was completely wrong and my microphone was like in the other part of the room, basically. So yeah, that has happened. But anyway, I think that is number one of these divides. Number two, I would make here, and that is that important figureheads like Alfred Kahn are on board on Veve for the pure intention to bring Pokemon to Veve and make Veve the most used app out there, and that they had only a success story with their past endeavors like 4Kids and so on, which is also not entirely true, right? And that the sole, let's say, this moonboy misconception is that the only reason that Alfred Kahn is there, or the sole reason that he is there, will bring Pokemon to Veve. And that's something that I think in the bull run it wasn't even in question, but now that we have been passing through an entire bear market, many people were questioning whether this is actually true, whether we are getting Pokemon, whether Pokemon is, or whether the Pokemon company is getting to Veve. Whenever you get to Alfred Kahn, obviously you have this tie to Pokemon, but honestly there are also more negative stories that I think deserve their own video. But if you are interested, you can read about this, for example, where you have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Deal that has been terminated, and then 4Kids has been sued for $4 to $5 million. There is an entire blog post about this one here, which has like 30 pages, the absurdly deep dive into the history of 4Kids, where they basically outline the entire lawsuit against 4Kids. So that is at least a good read, but you have to put it into perspective, right? Because there are conclusions that are drawn between that in my opinion, are at least, let's say, questionable. But these stories exist, and I think, if you ask, for example, if you ask Randy, if you ask some of the people that see everything positive, then they continue to believe that Alfred Kahn is only there, or is there, has come back from retirement to pull off another discovery like Pokemon, and bringing something to the digital space that is going to revolutionize the entire world. And I think that's, let me know in the chat if that's a wrong view, or if you agree, if you're disagreeing. But I think we should get a more objective stance here. And I think what is, to get to the point here, what is a little bit weird in my opinion is, so first of all, Alfred Kahn comes out here with this video of him or trying to open a Pokemon pack, so pushing this Pokemon narrative all of a sudden. And then I don't know if you have seen this.
Started Pokemon,
but I will roll it here.
A pack of cards because I was sent cards that were already opened, and in some cases were already, mounted into some kind of a book. So this is my excited experience with Queen Veve and William to open my first Pokemon deck.
All right.
Let's see if I got anything in here that's.
All right, Al, you're bringing me luck.
Okay, how do you open it? Yeah.
I just get in there. All right, what do we got? All right, you gotta show what we got here.
Since I
So as you have seen, he opens this. He has some troubles opening the Pokemon pack, but he does it. He's coming out here with Queen Veve and doing a Pokemon pack opening. And we haven't heard from him and Pokemon for a while before. It was really quiet about that, and actually very quiet around Alfred Kahn in general, which was weird to me. But and then all of a sudden he is coming out with several tweets. Unfortunately, he didn't show what he pulled out of that pack. I'm not entirely sure. I think they had some Evolving Skies packs there also. But there's another one, and that is this one here from Twitter. And that is that Logan Paul does these Prime promotions and so on. Everyone knows that, who watches Logan Paul's channel from time to time. But as you can see here, Alfred Kahn is coming out and says, Logan, DM me, want to talk Pokemon and how to take Prime to the next level. And I think, then right before that, he was also here on Drink Prime, again, telling Logan Paul, DM me, want to talk Pokemon and how to take Prime to the next level. So same message. So he's trying to get access or trying to get in contact with Logan Paul through Twitter, and it's just a weird feeling because you usually think that someone who is that well networked, right, and where we know that Logan Paul has already dealt with Jeremy Padawa, for example, to get this $5 million Illustrator Pokemon card that he showed off at a wrestling match, or Logan Paul, who bought this fake mega box of first edition, first print booster boxes, which turned out to be full of G.I. Joe cards in the end. You should assume that there is another way of approaching Logan Paul and get in touch with Logan Paul than asking him to DM him on Twitter. Unless that is intention to just create some kind of hype, right? So why can't Jeremy Padawa establish a contact between Logan Paul and Alfred Kahn? Because we have seen Jeremy Padawa in that video of Logan Paul sitting there together with Logan Paul and is making that history happen of this super scarce and valuable card. So in my opinion, that's extremely weird. That he is all of a sudden, right, from the 27th on here, basically pushing some Pokemon narrative. So you could see that again from one angle of the Moonbois and say, hey, it's coming, it's rolling now because Alfred Kahn is doing something. But on the other hand, you could also see this from a more bearish perspective and say, why is he so desperate after these Pokemon contacts, and why isn't he doing this behind closed doors? This is the actual Alfred Kahn. As you can see here, that is the Alfred Kahn account with 12.8 thousand followers. And I'm on his profile on the replies, where people are interacting with him. So for a second, you were right. We always have to check that. But as you can see here, that's his profile. For a fake profile, that would be a lot of followers. And then also here are things retweeted that are related to his charity things with the firefighters that he also spoke about. There we go. So this is his original tweet. Logan is tied to a lot of sketched pump and dumps. I believe he is in a big lawsuit right now. So that is also true. Like, Logan Paul is also not the let's say the definition of honesty and truth, as far as I can judge that from afar. I don't want to make any false accusations here, but there are claims going on that he did some stuff with NFTs that did not benefit his audience, right? So Omicron is absolutely right there. And you see, this is Alfred Kahn's original profile. He is trying to get, I don't know how, again, it's just so weird. It's such a big disconnect again. Maybe some joke when they opened packs or something. I don't know what you mean by that, Roger, but there is, it's not, I mean, it's this in itself could be something like, hey, Queen Veve has an idea, let's just get together, Matthew, and open the Pokemon packs. But right at the same time as these comments are happening, I just thought it was weird. So I'd bring it up. And I saw all this discussion around it, that people are saying, yes, Alfred Kahn is the Pokemon saint and he holds all the cards, so to say, pun not intended. And on the other hand, it seems like he is a little bit desperate here, for getting something on with Prime and and Pokemon, right? And that all in the light of his 4 kids going bankrupt and being sued by the licenses or licensors that some people claim that they would have. And if there was such a big lawsuit like the Yu-Gi-Oh one, why would they go to Logan Paul? Why would they go, not Logan Paul? Why would they go to Alfred Kahn again to make it all happen all over again? So that's where I also question myself, because when I heard David, you talk about having the Yu-Gi-Oh license and talking about Alfred Kahn, or with Alfred Kahn about Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh, it sounded like it's a done deal. These guys are the big ones that are dealing with Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think have to put my own views a little bit into perspective. But on the other hand, you have to always see that yes, these guys are well networked. They have the biggest licenses. Disney is certainly attracted to something from the beginning. Otherwise, Disney wouldn't have launched their stuff on the app. And as I said before, in the, let's say, bullish or bull market or end of bull market videos, something massive of gravity is there or was there with Ecomi and Veve that attracted all the other brands to the app. You don't win these without anything, which is an implication of them having some brands or some concepts that were outstanding at the time for getting these NFTs of massive brands on board. Wouldn't think he'd approach Coca-Cola over Prime. They have that IP. Would think he'd approach. Oh yeah. So, but they have Coca-Cola on Veve. So I don't know if he is, as a private person, just trying to approach Logan Paul, for example, or if he is doing it in the functionality as a member of Veve, let's say, right? So it's unclear what his actions are, but we will see. And honestly, I hope that in the end we can say that, hey guys, we were right, everyone else that never doubted anything was right all the time. But you have to admit that on the other hand, for example, with prices, many fudders were right when they were saying, for example, that the vault would go below 2,000, and now we had a vault listed for 1,900. And let's not talk about the vault that was unfortunately for someone listed for, I think, $1 or so, but a while ago. Jordan Stout. I have been out of the news feed for Veve. Has anything been accomplished for the last 2 months? Have they mentioned exchanges? Any news, new hires? Any thoughtful words for our direction to pop? So actually some things have happened, Jordan, and maybe everyone else or some people that are here can also help in the chat to bring up some of the topics, some of the good things that have happened. So Master Collector program has been rolled out to everyone, and points are now up to date, more or less, let's say. So that's a good thing. That's a milestone that they promised and kept, although many people claim that, or some people claim that it's not too impressive to have rolled that out. Secondly, with regards to transparency, I think they have done a step forward there, of Mitch and Nestor bringing out a post-mortem for the problems, the congestion that happened with the gauntlet drop. Then the gauntlet drop, the craft to burn in itself with Veve, I think is a progress. That is actually the most exciting thing for me. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but for me it was by far the most exciting thing. Apparently in the back end code there is the waitlist drop. I don't know why they are not doing the waitlist drop, and sometimes my streaming software here says that that I am dropping in frames. So if you also observe this, or if this is weird, then yeah, please let me know, because then I can, for the next stream, change my settings a little bit. Yeah, so I think that's about. Did I forget anything of the infrastructural milestones? Because I'm not talking about drops here. To answer Jordan's comment, I think they have not mentioned new exchanges besides that BingX exchange that has already had its listing, I think 3 months ago, so nothing new there. Yeah, Smarty Pants says, my MCP count is still miscalculated, to be honest. Waiting for them to fix and have a ticket submitted. Should be getting 4,500 daily recurring points, but still only getting 3,700 points. But as long as it is fixed retroactively, yeah, I think they will. Once they get these complaints, they will fix retroactively. So yeah, in my opinion, there is still work to do with the MCP calculation. I am not entirely sure if I shouldn't be getting more than 450 or 400 points when I have over 450 collectibles and 23 sets or so, including, I mean, if I only calculate that I already have 12 secret rare comics, nothing doubled, then I should be getting 72 points only from that, right? Jordan says, it takes time. I was a master collector for a long time until lowered to Diamond 2. Yeah, I think the ranking of the master collector program is with regards to also if people purchase and gain more than you and pass you, then I think you can drop. And I think with retroactively still calculating points for some people that might have more points, might kick you off of some ranks, because I think it's always in comparison to other, or the total of other people and how they are performing. Now, I think the big problem is that I read it already like 5 times and I still cannot remember how exactly ranks and levels and everything else are determined, if that's in comparison only to everyone and the entire distributed points, or if it's fixed points that determine levels. I think for the levels, yes, but for the ranks, no. So they should make it even more simple, easier for new users to understand, because they are certainly not going to study Ecomi and Veve like we did. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I think with regards to this divide that I mentioned here, also people in the vevefam are of 2 opinions. Veve is complete garbage and doesn't build anything and doesn't get anything done. Like, for example, Jordan Stout says or asked here if they got anything done in the last 2 months. But if you look, for example, at Immutable, they have been pushing. They have been really bringing a lot of progress, and obviously there's another level of let's say development of capital structure behind that, but they have 150 plus games in development, 40 marketplaces and so on, just to show you a comparison which supports, let's say, more the bearish view. On the other hand, you also have to see that the developments that Veve made are not insignificant. They are slower and lower than we thought, but they are not insignificant. Hey Jordan Reese, what's going on? Guys, if you don't know Jordan's channel, he has the show around the Ecomiverse with special guests all the time. I think, I don't know which one you have right now. It's the most recent, I think from Monday, but time before you had Comics and Crypto, and the one before that, I think it was me and Foster Hild going at each other in terms of Bear and Moonboy. But it was for sure entertaining. So guys, make sure to check out Jordan's channel as well. But with that said, that is just something to add here. It's not one of my main points. Which brings me to my last, or not last, but to my biggest point here, and that is something that Dr. Profit brought up as one of our let's say, Moonboy whales. And that is not meant negative or anything against Dr. Profit. On the contrary, he is always putting out so much stuff here on Twitter about the development of augmented reality and virtual reality, and now he has come out here saying, get ready, BOE has announced that their 4K micro OLED display set to roll off mass production by Q4 this year. We are talking about an outstanding OLED on silicon display combined with field sequential LCD and so on. I'm not a techie, but for sure this micro display, as we see here, seems to be really, really impressive here. Let me get rid of the sound because we don't need it. So as far as we can see here, if that would be really something where we would look through with the augmented reality, that would be crazy. But as we have also seen with regards to, you see here, right, it looks like if there's a photo or a real room behind the lens, but that's actually all digital. So if, augmented reality stuff would look like this one day, but you could create these worlds, that would be really, really crazy, right? Then then Trevor chimes in here and says, and it will keep your head warm too, since you'll need to strap 4090s to each side of your head to run dual 4K times 4K displays at usable VR frame rates. So what do I want to say here? It is, as always, that the vision of what is about to come with the virtual reality, and also in the light of that Apple is going to probably present in only 5 days or 6 days their next VR headset. In that light, there is a development in front of us. But, and now this is this disconnect that two parts of the community have, in my opinion, is that the Moonboys think that once this VR headset from Apple is coming, mass adoption is coming on, and everyone is going to buy that headset, and everyone is coming in and buying Veve collectibles because these are going to be so insane with this headset and so on. But the truth here, in my opinion, is that actually that headset is expected to cost $3,000 per headset, and then I don't know how much you need to really connect and applications and so on, and if there is actually something that you have to download and purchase, like let's say PlayStation games or whatever, right? So $3,000, I mean, people are spending $1,000 to $1,500 already for iPhones, so it's not out of the world, but it's still double the amount. And I think many people are with the iPhone already on the limit. So with $3,000 there is actually a mass expansion, but mass adoption cannot be expected with these amounts here, with this $3,000 here on the product. So it's expected to be presented right now in 6 days, and we will see what the impact is. But if it's a huge success, and if people are actually enjoying this, then and a lot of people are buying this, and actually Apple is gaining revenue from this, then other competitors will build this out as well. and that would then spark competition, which will bring down prices. But I think that is not something that you can expect to push the prices or the adoption of Veve right away. It could spark a small hype or a hype around this, like if the presentation is really, really good and Apple can pull off an iPhone moment or something like that and pull off another really good product. But the disconnect here, in my opinion, is that this is something where you can deduct from that Veve is going to the moon because of that, right? Or Ecomi, which is not connected yet in the way we want. And this is also, I want to really bring this down to the point that in general, Veve and Ecomi moonbois always believe that there are certain little things with Ecomi and Veve, certain drops that are going to bring the turnaround for the Omi price, right? For example, like this, for the Omi price, that something is going to come out that is big and that will turn around the Ecomi price or the Veve volts. But the truth of it all is, in my opinion, very easy. Is just how the money flow in the entire world will move. And that is when the entirety of crypto is going up. Roger says, feel it will take years, but who knows, technology changes fast. Yeah, so that's the thing to consider. Even though that the Apple headset might be out of reach, there could be a technology leap that brings us, it could be like the technology leap of the touch display. When you remember when you always had to push buttons on a smartphone, and then after a while, the first smartphones came out with a touch pen, and then right away it was your finger. Why would you need a pen that you can lose and stuff like that? And then the iPhone had this one button, the home button, and then the home button went away as well. So there was a technology leap in terms of retina display and super sensitive touch displays and so on. And I think it was in Star Wars Episode 1 when these guys are working with the tablets in this library where they are looking for this. Or was it Episode 1? Somewhere there is a small sequence of library. Maybe it's Episode 2. Where they have something like touchpads, and at the time when this came out, I think touchpads weren't even a thing. But anyways, after that it became reality quickly, and now everything has a touchpad panel, whatever. So yeah, the technology leap theory or possibility is there. However, you cannot bet on it. So what I wanted to say in the end is just you have the belief that certain things and innovations and use cases are pushing prices ultimately up or generate the turnaround. And I say it's not. It's if there is money on the pile and put on the pile by extensive money printing, or it's not, right? They are taking out money from the pile by raising interest rates. This is what I usually discuss every day, every morning, almost every day, because in the last days I wasn't online, in my crypto morning coffee live streams in the morning. So yeah, so there is I think this is always this divide in the community between the two sides right now. And what I see as a general conclusion is that with this you only can go full moonboy or full fudder, and you see nothing in between. And I think this should change, right? I think there should be more objective views on why is Veve burning these collectibles? Why is Alfred Kahn? What is he really doing at Veve? What is he achieving right now? Has he only kicked the door open for some licensors? Is he really deeply involved into getting new licenses on board? Is he really capable, or does he really have the prerequisites to get Pokemon on board for Veve, or do they already have this? I think if we see stuff like this, we really need to evaluate some of our beliefs about Ecomi and Veve in the positive as well as in the negative. Yeah, that's what I think. But, and that is something that we also always have to consider, there are some facts that we can, the most or the easiest thing is that facts are there. Like there are facts in metadata, there are facts in the statistics, in the data that we can actually get from Veve, and that is that whales are still confident, and that whales are still buying, and that's what you are seeing or not seeing right here. So if I get myself out of the way a little bit, and the chat as well, then we can see that behind these wallet addresses there is still massive net accumulation for Ecomi and or for Veve, let's say. There is, as you can see here, Dr. Profit is the first wallet here, has accumulated another 18 collectibles, but the other ones are, let's say, catching up, although not enough yet to catch the first place here from Dr. Profit. 80 collectibles, 80 collectibles, 20 collectibles, 200 almost, 150, 500 collectibles net accumulation, and then some with -5, -12. But overall, we have whales in the top 25, in the hundreds, and then look at number 20. Look at number 26. Number 26 bought in, and this, guys, this is in the last 7 days. Number 26 bought 3,282 collectibles, and from this only 69 are mints. So that means that you have an outflow of almost 3,500 collectibles from the secondary market to make this possible here. So that's crazy. And he only sold one, which could be a flip or whatever, but there is a massive accumulation going on here. Jordan Stout says, I think the major distraction is AI and robotics. It's getting all the mainstream media hype. NFTs that ran fast are dealing with the legal problems. Veve NFTs are legally solid but hiding. I hope January of next year is a turnaround. January of next year. So I think, yeah, almost, probably not yet, because as I've mentioned a couple of times before, January of next year is still before the halving, and I do not see a turnaround before and not even right after the halving. I think NFTs are somewhere behind the smaller cap altcoins in the seasons. So when you get altcoin season where the profits flow. So, but in general, I agree. I want to go deeper into your comment here because you have a very good point. I think major distraction is AI and robotics, and I think that's true. We have seen that metaverse was a hype, it died down, and it was replaced by AI right now. And now everything's pumping that has to do with AI. For example, today I saw Ocean Protocol is pumping 12-13%. There are some other AI projects that are pumping again. So AI is really a buzzword, a hype. Everyone wants to do AI right now. But I think that in the end, what really will bring a whole new layer or a whole new thing to us as collectors. No, I wanted you to see here the 3,000 collectibles. To us as collectors, as users of the VR, AR space, blockchain space, is that there are new applications where you can use AI, but AI is just one tool in the big broad toolbox, in my opinion, to make certain things like bringing NFTs to life, interact with an NFT or with with a computer game in a way that the interaction is random and not always I was once like you, I took an arrow to the knee, like always the same response when you're passing by in a game. So AI could be very good for all of these things, and obviously business with coming from big data and having massive amounts of data that they can use. If they have a new tool to play around like AI, they can extract massive benefits from stuff like that, in my opinion. So yeah, I think you are really right, and it draws attention away from the already pretty innovative space. And the second part that you have is also true, that NFTs have a very bad reputation. Although the Veve ones are pretty solid, there are still discussions to be had, or discussions to be led about the validity of the NFTs in general that are on Veve. We have had this discussion on this channel, but overall, I think that this image in the next bull run of the rug pull and the scam NFTs is going away, because people will not purchase, and I'm pretty sure I'm right on this, people will not again go to OpenSea and purchase whatever JPEG for 1, 2, 5, 10 Ethereum. They will look way more on the value side, as they did with crypto and altcoins. So for example, if you look from the very first bull run, where there was only Bitcoin and then Bitcoin and Ethereum, into the massive amount of useless altcoins that have surfaced during that time, and altcoins that have appeared and then disappeared forever and couldn't put in new all-time highs, couldn't build, to a phase right now where it more looks like there is at least a part of, let's say, 50 to 100 altcoins that are really established, that are really building with real use cases. So take examples like VeChain, Chiliz, Arweave, Filecoin, stuff like that. There are many more, like Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, all these layer ones that are really, really big ecosystems already. It's very hard to imagine that these will go away in the same manner as, for example, IOTA, or what was it? I think what was one of the firsts there. It's hard to imagine that Uniswap, for example, goes away, because there's still so much to do with DeFi and DEXs and so on. So I think we will see something different, and I think NFTs will somehow go through a similar cycle as altcoins have before. So people will be looking for legitimate, officially licensed, for branded NFTs that are not a rug pull. And even big official brands somehow did a rug pull. I saw another YouTuber a couple of days ago that had purchased a Dolce & Gabbana NFT for, I think, $100,000 or so, which was promising that you get regularly sent Dolce & Gabbana clothes to your home, and invitations for D&G clothing, or events, and I don't know what it was, like a ton of things were promised, and then I think all that they got was, like, after 2 years, something sent home, like a couple of t-shirts and hoodies. So that is one hell of a of an NFT to have for $100,000 if there's not much behind it, right? So yeah, even the big brands will have an image problem after that if people lost a ton of money on these NFTs. So people will look out for something more, something with real usability and real utility behind it, and Veve has that something, in my opinion. That's true, and that's where I come from, the positive side. On the other hand, Veve has now the decision at hand whether they can pull it off or not, and that's really where I see the biggest problem. But apparently the top 30 that you can see here doesn't see a problem, because what I've actually never seen, or almost never seen, is a bar like this in the negative of net accumulation. And we can actually look here a little bit lower if we can find someone who has a sell-off, a big sell-off phase in right now in the last 7 days, and there are none. There are really none. Look here, number 63 also climbing up massively with over 1,000 purchased collectibles. Most negative numbers that you see are -1 or -5 or in the single digits, and I think the most that I've seen in the entire top 100 is it's -87. However, that person is minting, purchasing, and selling. So we have seen this at around the spot all the time. That's someone who is massively flipping, I think. So besides that person, not too many people are actually selling on Veve at the moment. Good. That's that. Let's take one final look at if we have something new on Veve where we need to talk about. We have the airdrop here that we get for having that Guardians of the Galaxy set, but actually I don't care about this airdrop. There is this comic. I don't think that this is a really big one. And there is the reminder again from Veve here that we have 10 more days to mint the gauntlet for the airdrop, and that is right now the number that we have 2,767 SR gauntlets that have been minted, crafted. So that's then at least the number of Thinker Thanos that we get. And then 906 of those used the SR Eye of Agamotto, which is another 906 of the Warrior Thanos that we are going to get. So less than 1,000 Warrior Thanos as it seems. That is basically the update there. Spike is here as well. What have you missed? You have only missed me rambling on about the positive and the negative, or what's the truth between hype and FUD, and some selected examples from Veve, Alfred Kahn, and the Apple glasses that are coming out, and some content regarding all of this. But guys, it's late. I've been traveling before, many hours on the road. So, with that said, I hope to see you here on the channel for videos and live streams that are coming in the next days. I hope to be able to continue a regular schedule on Crypto Morning Coffee, always around 7 a.m. CET here from Europe. And guys, on your way out, please make sure to smash up the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon.